Hi, welcome to Cardiac Rehabilitation. My name's Mark, and before we get started, just make sure you've got some nice space around you. You're wearing some loose fitted clothing, supportive footwear, you've got some water close by, and if you have balance issues, make sure you're close to a table or a worktop that you can lean on if needed. Okay, so we're going to go through a 15-minute warm-up before we move on to the main circuit. Okay, so we'll start by marching it out slowly. So we want to start off slowly and increase the intensity as we want to dilate the blood vessels in our extremities, in our arms, our legs, as to not put too much pressure on the heart too early. We want to warm up the main muscle groups in our arms and legs. We're going to start with upper body, so we're going to mobilise our arms, stretch out the main muscle groups in the arms, and then we'll move down to the lower body. Throughout the warm-up, we will be moving our feet all the time. We're always moving our feet just to keep the heart rate raised. So if we interlock our fingers, point our palms away, and we're just stretching out the top of the back. And release there. This time, place our hands on the bottom of our backs, point our elbows backwards, and we're just stretching out the chest. If you've had chest surgery, just be careful with this one that we're not stretching too much, causing pain. And release there. Let's take our right ear to our right shoulder, left ear to our left shoulder, and looking forward, and chin to chest, looking up to the ceiling, and looking forward, and we look over our right shoulder, looking over our left shoulder, and looking forward. Start rotating our shoulders forwards. And rotating backwards. And relax there. Let's bring our right arm across our body. Keeping that right arm straight, hooking under with our left arm, either above or below the elbow, and just squeezing in towards your body, and you should feel the stretch down this part of your shoulder or your arm. And release there. Bring our left arm across our body, hook under with our right arm, and squeeze in. And release there. This time, reach down our back with our right arm and apply a bit of pressure with the opposite arm. And you should feel this stretch down here, the back of your arm and your tricep. And release there. And change arms. And release. It's time to start making some slightly bigger movements with our arms. And coming backwards. And relax there. Let's take a shoulder width stance. I'm just going to rotate the hips one way, and around the other way. and march it out on the spot. So that's all upper body done. Now we're going to move on to lower body, and we'll start by just doing some side taps. So we should be starting to warm up by now. We shouldn't be finding this too difficult. We should be starting to get slightly breathless, slightly warm, but not difficult. I'll do some toe taps to the front. And tap into the back. So we're moving through all four planes, to the front, to the back, to both sides, just to warm up all of our joints, which will hopefully prevent us from getting injured. And back to marching on the spot. This time we're going to go through some lower limb stretches. We're going to start just by doing some light lunges, side lunges first. If you find this difficult, then just do some side steps. So I'm going to go over to the left. I'm going to take a big step out to the left, point my left toes outwards and just lunge down. And you should feel the stretch in the groin area. We hold all of these stretches for around 10 seconds. And come up, back into side lunges. We'll step out to the right, point our right toes out and lunge down. And come back up, marching on the spot. Between each stretch, we carry on with a pulse raising exercise like marching on the spot or lunges, just to keep our heart rate raised throughout the warm-up. This time we're going to some heel digs. So we're just tapping our heels forwards. If you find the pace of the warm-up too quick, then just slow down to your pace. We shouldn't be finding this difficult at the moment. So now I want you to keep that left foot forward, keeping that left heel on the floor, bending your right knee, and just sitting down into it, and you should feel a stretch down your left hamstring. If you need to balance, you can put weight on your right leg, just to increase that stretch, to sit down into it. And come back up into heel digs. So now we'll do the opposite leg, so leave your right heel forward, keeping that right leg straight. Bend your left leg and sit down, feeling the stretch down the straight leg. And come back up to marching on the spot. This time, we're going to do some tap backs. Going to step back with your left leg, pushing your left heel into the floor, bending your right knee, and we'll just lean forward. And you should feel the stretch in your calf muscle with the straight leg, and just push that heel into the floor. And come back up into tap backs. And step back with your opposite leg, so my right leg, pushing that right heel into the floor, and putting your weight on the opposite leg. Come back up to marching on the spot. So we're just over 10 minutes into the warm-up now. We're going to increase the intensity slightly to slowly raise the heart rate even more. This time we're going to step to the side and do a bicep curl and then the opposite side. So we're incorporating upper and lower body here. Now back to marching on the spot. So the warm-up also gives us a good opportunity to make sure that our form is good and we have good posture. So let's do a step back and raise our arm in front. Make sure we're not bringing our arm too high here. You only need to come up to shoulder height. If you have balance issues, just make sure you have a table close by. Okay, and marching on the spot. So we're going to heel digs with a single bicep curl. And marching on the spot. Now we're going to incorporate both arms into all of those movements. So we're stepping across to the side with a double bicep curl. Now our heart rate should be rising quite a bit more now. We should be getting a little bit more out of breath, but we shouldn't be finding this too difficult. If you're finding it difficult, then just slow it down slightly. And back to marching on the spot. This time we're going to do step back with a double front arm raise, like so. Back to marching on the spot. We're going to do heel digs, double bicep curl. Then back to marching on the spot. For the last 20 seconds we're just going to do some high knees, okay? So coming to the end of the warm up now. And marching on the spot. So that's the end of the 15-minute warm up. So now we can move on to the main circuit. Now's a good opportunity to get a drink. Keep your feet moving, and then we'll start the main circuit.